Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with a blog to watch. Today I'm going to review a really cool watch from Czapek. It's called the Czapek plus Vendome Complicite Stardust, and the Stardust is this particular dial version with the silver dial here. And this watch is a collaboration between Geneva-based Czapek and the independent watchmaker Bernard Lederer, who is really cool and also has his own brand. The point of this movement, which is the Caliber 8 that Bernard Lederer and Czapek developed together, is to be both symmetrical and beautiful, meaning it's cool to look at, and also to have two independent regulation systems which are connected via differential. And there's a lot of watches on the market right now, mostly high-end watches, that have multiple regulation systems of some type, be them multi-axis tourbillons, where there's a few of them, or really inexpensive watches which have really just one regulation system and one that's there for show. So some of the several $100 watches that appear to do this actually don't have two independent regulation systems which are connected via differential, which you can see here under this sort of X or infinity-shaped sapphire bridge, which is a really cool design element. And underneath that is the differential. And so what it does is it averages out the rate results of these two different, I think they're 3 hertz actually, regulation systems, and that leads to one timekeeping mechanism. The watch is, really aesthetically fantastic. Yes, it's 3 hertz. So 72 hours of power reserve, and you can see there's a nice, also again, symmetrical power reserve indicator there. So it's time only with power reserve, but really what a beauty to look at. The case is sort of just under 42 millimeters wide. It has a very interesting type of construction here where it's classic round, but also very modern in a fascinating way here. And I think it's actually quite comfortable. This one's white gold, as you can see. Czapek has the Antarctique, which is its integrated bracelet watch, which has been really, really popular. So for them, they're very excited about the Place Vendome Complicite because they're like, hey, we get to break away from doing a bracelet watch, which isn't really in their DNA so much. It's really about making watches like this. So the Antarctique is cool, but their heart is more to sort of complicated watches like that. So you can see the Place Vendome Complicite has a very classic but interesting appearance. It's not very thin, but you can see the box-style sapphire crystal there allows it to be a lot more thin wearing, sort of a lower profile on the wrist because a lot of it is transparent there. There's another version of this watch that has, I think it's a rose gold case and has a blue dial. And so these are the two versions that are being made for the debut year of 2024. Probably more will come in the future because you don't put all the time and effort into developing something like this without making a bunch of different versions. This watch would be really great in titanium because I think in addition to its dressier qualities, it also makes a very interesting sporty watch. And again, I know they hate to say it, but this would actually look really cool on a matching bracelet. Can you imagine a bracelet that has some design elements similar here? Of course, you have the brushing. And interesting, the sandblasting on the inside there. Not everyone is in love with this this trench that sometimes is dug in the sides of cases, and the lugs are semi-skeletonized. But I'll tell you what, if this was just a traditional case with just a polished side there, you'd be like, wow, that's so boring. So it does add a visual element that I think is highly appreciated. Czapek is not making too many of these watches. Each of the versions is, I believe, a limited edition, 50 pieces. Price, of course, is up there because this is quite a high-end timepiece, but it is, again, really fun, beautiful, nicely made, and simple enough that you can just sort of pick it up, wind it up. It's manually wound, of course, and enjoy it for a few days, and then put it back and not worry like, oh, if I have to set my watch, is there a calendar? And that's something which also kind of annoys me with some of the more expensive watches that have a bunch of complications that you need to set. Most people actually prefer something like this, which is an interesting mechanism you can appreciate. It's nice to look at, but it's so simple. You can pick it up, set the time, wear it, and not have to think about it. Price for the Czapek Place Vendome Complicite Stardust is $97,500, and you can see our full review on the Blog to Watch website. Thanks.